Alright, so here we are with the updated Dragonmaid deck. Now I know you're looking at it and going, wait, there's no cards here. How's this updated? What I'm going to do for you is I'm actually going to build the deck from scratch and kind of show you the core, explain some of the cards that are optional and some cards that are necessary. I'm going to first build a necessary part of the deck, and then I'll go from there into like the optional stuff, because you're going to see a lot of high rarity things, and some of them are more of just there to help the consistency, but they're not necessary. Now, this variant of the Dragonmaids is going to be combo based, but not really. For the most part, it's still mainly Dragonmaids, but you're going to have the combo engine in there. This, of course, being Dragoonides. So again, I'm going to show you what's absolutely necessary. You need one Royal Finish Remus. That is mandatory. It's not. But you absolutely want to play at least 3. You want 3 of them. I would definitely recommend 2 Ravines. Only reason you want 2 is if you happen to draw both a Remus and a Ravine, you don't want to make yourself susceptible to an Ash Blossom. So you can pitch the Remus, bring out the second Ravine, and if they Ash it, then cool, you already got Ravine in your hand. You just combo off like usual. But if you have the third one, take the third one. You only need 1 Legatus and 1 Gaydur. You only need 1 of these. Optionally, you would have a Gram in there, but again, I'm just going to show you the necessary stuff. Now, for the combo that I built, you're going to want these extra extenders. So, if you look at any of the other videos, you should know what these do, but I will still explain it. But this is... Did I put Red Eyes in here? I didn't. Okay. So this is the necessary part, what I would call a necessary part to build the engine for Dragonmaids. It does at first glance look like you would brick a lot, but honestly, if you manage to draw any of the Remuses or the Ravines, you could pretty much just go into your full combo from there. Drawing any of the other cards doesn't necessarily hurt you, and if you actually have Mistletoe in your hand, you can still use your changeover with any Dragonmaid and still go into Shiyu. So as far as it goes, the only cards you don't want to draw into is Legatus, Zephyros, and Miss Valley Baby Rock. You know, because they're technically bricks. If you do draw them, they're not terrible, but I mean, Baby Rock is absolutely the worst thing to draw, and you will draw it consistently. But Zephyros can actually still help you, because if you have Ravine and him and you discard them and for whatever reason they ash it, you can still bring it back to the hand, play it again, and then kind of continue from there. So it's not the worst thing to draw into. But this is the essential, because basically you send Remus, get Ravine, discard anything, get your Legatus, go into your 6, send Zephyros to the graveyard, use his effect, bounce it, bounce the Ravine, make oh, oops, almost forgot this guy. Make your Romulus, so he can search your Glow, who can then search your Mistletoe. You play him, bring back Gaydur, use his effect again. This is where you send your Baby Rock, and then you make a 6. Use discard your Gaydur, get Red Eyes, so summon Gaydur back. And then this is where you kind of rotate your Dragonmaids. With your Dragonmaids, because you want your hands to be as consistent as possible. You only need, oops, I didn't want you, I thought you were somebody else. You only want 1 nurse. That's it, you just want 1 nurse. I would say this is kind of the ultimate kind of version. You only need 1 changeover. You only need 1 of the big ones. I keep grabbing the wrong ones, sorry. You definitely want this. Definitely want 3 tidings. Reason being for this type of setup is you want to, have as many potential plays as you can. So opening parlor or chamber, you're pretty good there. Tidying is always good to have. It helps out with everything else. And then you want the big dragons just for the long game. It kind of helps get you a lot going. Not the worst things to draw into. They can still have their benefits, but you really only want one of each. And I include this one just in case you need a heavy hitter, but you probably opt out of one of it for a second green one, just so you have something to send from the deck with hospitality, because your parlor Dragonmaid is probably going to be what you really want to send with it. You can add a couple extra of the Dragonmaids or Dragoonity cards as you want, but this is what I would say is like the core that you would need to really make this deck kind of function. The rest of the cards that I add, I technically did forget one other card. Duh. The rest of the cards that I add are what I feel helps the deck out the most in terms of consistency, follow-ups, and things like that. My always go-to is having a lot of board breakers, because this game, you only need 2. This game will inevitably make you go second pretty often. I actually do think it's still worth playing Keoki Mirror Dragon, just because he kind of auto-wins you some matchups. Cyber Dragon, Eldritch, Drytron. Once they use up the normal summon, you pop your seals, bring him out. You pretty much just auto-win that matchup. They're not going to be able to get through once you have your Borolo Savage Dragon. It's pretty much an auto-win. I like having my Gammas. You want your Ash. You kind of want as many things as you can to kind of make sure that you play through. In terms of some extenders, I have my Gold Sarcophagus. This is a really good card when you have your Tempest. So again, we're going into some of the extra, but Gold Sarcophagus in this situation is basically a 4th Remus. And in Tempest, it's like a 4.5, kind of 5 Remus. If you have Tempest and Parliament in hand, you can discard both to search your Remus. If you open Sarcophagus, you send Tempest to then search your Remus. And this pretty much can always let your combo go off. And then it's cool to have Graham in the deck because he helps give you another kind of negate on board for your long game. But again, he's not really all that necessary. I will not mess this up. So about right here, you have a pretty good solid deck. Again, you can kind of do some of the extra stuff as you prefer that kind of fits your standard, but I think this is a really good consistent version of it. I actually do play a couple more cards because I like to have my triple tactic talents. That's just a me thing. I like to have that along with Monster Reborn. Because you never know if they do something kind of interrupt you. You have these options. And then for the extra deck, in terms of, there's actually one other pretty cool card to add in, and that's this guy. So you can actually easily get into him with any of your Remises. If you already have your Nurse and Chambermaid on the board, you can do this cool thing. You can use this guy. So you will use your Remus and your Dragonmaid Chamber, make sense, and then you use your changeover, bounce your Nurse back into your hand, resummon your Nurse, which will bring back your Chambermaid, who you can then use with this to go into Dragoonity Knight, and then this will actually attach it to that and then make it 4300. So it's actually a pretty cool little setup. And then from here, honestly, like if you were trying to avoid the the little Autobot FTK thing. This is actually what I would recommend is like you wanted to go all out in the build. This right here would get pretty much the job done. I was consistently able to draw into my starters, or something that I can play through. Like right here, you can basically make your full board with this. You already do your ravine, and you don't need Dragon Maid and Lore Par in your hand because you have hospitality to bring it out of the graveyard without having to use your normal summon. So you could use your ravine to get your Remus, then get another ravine to get your Legatus. You can discard the Lore Par and then go into your combo. If they ask you, you open the tactics, so you get 2 more cards and kind of just go through from there. So it's actually pretty good. This hand, you never want to see this. But yeah, you can pretty much, make your board through that. You can even, you can make your board through that. This would be a hand that's like honestly a brick, but you're not going to see too many brick hands all that often. But as long as you open your Remus, your Sarcophagus, or any of the normal summon Dragon Maids, you're pretty much good to go. If we were to fill out the rest of the extra deck, you're going to want, I would say, a couple extra copies of those. If you have more housemaids, get those. You only need but the one Shiyu, just because you can always use your chamber to get her out the graveyard if for whatever reason she's destroyed. If she got kaiju'd or something. But more housemaids means that you can kind of keep swinging without having to send it back, or get people know at this point to just banish the housemaid. So if you can have a second or third copy, you're good to go there. You want Borolo Savage Dragon because you can actually end your combo with it. So your first turn board would leave you with Erratic Seal, Borolo, and Shiyu. And ideally, you could have a Tidying in your hand at the same time. But this is the, my go-to Dragon Maid deck. Let me make sure I actually built that exactly the same. I probably didn't, but it's close enough to it. It looks basically, oh, okay. I had a second red ice. But you see, I built it from scratch, and this is literally the same board. Except I also added this in here. Because again, those stupid bots are a thing, and also has Stardust. But yeah, this is how I build it. It's a very efficient deck. You're gonna end up winning a lot of games if you open first with this, and even if you go second, you have a couple of going second cards to kind of help break the board. So where's my Dark Ruler no more? You should you should have a good couple of cards to go second, to help break boards and things like that. I had two red eyes only because if you're going in a long game, having a second one is pretty good to kind of reestablish your board again. But yeah, this gets your engine going pretty consistently, gets you a good startup, gets you straight into the action. You don't have to always end on with just a single Shiyu pass. If you're able to kind of get into the starters, you're in a very winning position. One thing I do want to mention, try to use your Shiyu's negate before you bring out Kyoki Miru Dragon if you decide to run it. Reason being, Housemaid is a light monster and you can't use your negate if you can't special summon it. So if you know that you're playing against something like an Outlich and they're like opening Regeki for whatever reason, you use your Shiyu first, save your Borolo, and then when they invest into their normal summon, then you pop your seals and bring this out, so you still have your Savage Dragon negate just in case. And honestly, if you have this on the board, this is an auto win against Outlich, because even if they draw Skill Drain, you just negate it with Borolo and you attack for game. I had one replay of it, and for whatever reason, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what profile I had it on, because I was definitely doing it on a lot of different profiles. But yeah, I did this video. I remember a viewer during one of my streams wanted an updated Dragon Maid deck profile. So here it is. This is Combo Maids. I like this version a lot. make alterations if you like to, but I think this is going to be the most consistent version where you don't necessarily, if you open a normal Dragonmaid hand, I mean, it's just open, you know, a normal Dragonmaid combo type thing, where you land on Shiyu, and if you manage to get into your Remus, or yeah, if you manage to get into your Remus one way or another, then you're pretty much going to go into a full combo and have a really hard to break board that's actually really light on resources as well. And I'm making this video before the maintenance comes in, but yeah, this is what we have. And that is the Dragonmaid update. If there's any other decks that you guys would like for me to make or test, I mean, if it's dragon based, I'll look into it. I'll probably make a Dragon Link deck at some point. I forgot what I was going to do with Dragon Links. It was something I was going to add to there that was going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, I can make a Dragon Link deck if you guys really want me to. But you're probably going to see the Dragoonity engine in it, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I did do that before, and you can make up some pretty crazy boards, and it's actually hyper consistent since most of the rockets are like one card combos, so it's pretty difficult to break with that deck. But yeah, and sorry for the delay. I was out of town, didn't bring my console, so I didn't have any way to upload these things. And I'll try to get a couple more games out and some replays. But other than that, adios.